dance floor.
Come on!
What's up, everyone? Shock here, bringing you a interesting Ubers, I guess you could call it Ubers triple battle I had against my good friend and longtime rival WillixiamX. We decided we would do a battle with the freaking, what is it, Sea Gear thing, infrared, and he said, well, all I have is mostly Ubers that I just traded over from Platinum or whatever, and he was trading them up. The song choice is going to be Remnants and Asylum from Disturbed's Asylum record. So, anyways, his team wasn't really EV trained, mine was, but I was using a low tier team designed for T-Player's team, and I was like, alright, I'll bring 2 Ubers, but I won't use them till the very end. So we decided to do this right after we got done on the Battle Subway. Right before we went on the Battle Subway, and I had it was a really good Battle Subway match that really wish I could have saved it, but I didn't record this, so I couldn't save it. And then I actually clicked no. So as you can see, his is mostly Uber except for Moltres, actually. So let's go on with the match. You are challenged by Will. So he's going to leave with Dialga, Palkia, and Giratina. As I said earlier, he had just trained them over, and they really have just their stock movesets, while mine have custom movesets and whatnot, and they're EV'd. But this is just a fun battle, so no criticizing anyone. I'm going to leave my Genghis, my Bouncio, my Atrocious. Atrocious, yeah. That thing is atrocious, is what my friend said. So after all the pressure goes on, Giratina's going to go for the Shadow Sneak on my Bouncio and breaks the Focus Sash. Bouncio, Magic Bounce, you know, and takes me down to about half. So I'm going to go Psyshock on his Palkia, and that's going to do a decent bit to Palkia. I'm like, wow, it is about half. And I go for the Dizzy Punch because they're like, hey man, no fair. I was like, I don't care. I hate you and Palkia. Back when we did this way before we started competitive battling, like probably when we were both still in high school, years ago actually. His Palkia would always score crits on my Dialga, and I'd always get annoyed with it. So after Dizzy Punching, and he nearly takes out my Bouncio with a Surf, and then he Dragon Breaths my Atrocious, I go straight for the Coil, because I want to get my attack, accuracy, and defense up. Mainly just to get the defense and attack up, because now Spark will actually hit, period. So after munching on my leftovers, I'm going to go... Giratina's going to go for the Shadow Sneak and kill my Bouncio. So Bouncio goes down, and I was like, crap. But I knew Bouncio was going to die anyways. Also, the Wonder Launcher was on too, but we didn't care about using it. So I go straight for the Dizzy Punch, and I take out Palkia as I recover HP from Shell Belt. Running away to grab my computer charger. He goes for another Dragon Breath on my Dialga. On my Dialga. He goes for another Dragon Breath on my Atrocious as I go straight for the Brick Break because I was like, oh yeah, Steel types. And it takes him out. I think the crit probably definitely mattered. So now I'm going to get HP back. My leftovers. Wow. Just barely got my computer plugged in time. So I go into my Titus, and we were joking around, it was like Titus. And he was like, Titus? He's like, Titus? I was like, no, Titus. So he goes out into Moltres now and Darkrai. I'm like, oh, fantastic. It's a Darkrai. Crap, as you can see, I'm still using like my lower tier Pokemon. I haven't even stepped to my Ubers yet. So I'm going to go for the Focus Blast. Surprise, I outspread Darkrai. I was like, oh my god. I don't miss with Focus Blast, and I was like, KO! Because that's going to wreck that Darkrai. I'm like, oh yeah. Go Titus. So Darkrai goes down, and then my Genghis Khan, I'm going to go for the Dizzy Punch. He's like, man, I hate you with Dizzy Punch. And I get the confusion. He's like, oh, he's like rage face JPEG. So I'm gonna get some HP back from Shell Bell as Moltres is going to break through the confusion hacks and go for the ancient power. And he's like, come on, stat boost, come on, stat boost. No stat boost. I'm like, oh wow. I thought it would do a lot more. And he goes for the ancient power on Giratina. He's like, come on, stat boost, come on, stat boost. Doesn't get the stat boost, doesn't take me out. I'm like, oh wow, couldn't believe it did not take me out. So I'm going to go straight for the Spark on his Moltres for my Atrocious, and that takes him out. So I'm like, oh yeah. So, Moltres goes down. It's pretty much, I think, 5-2 at this point. Something like that. Yeah, it's 5-2. And he goes out into his Mewtwo, and he forgot he had this. This is the event Mewtwo from Japan, actually. It's on Cerebi. It's careful with Electro Ball and I forget what else. So he goes, I go for the Sucker Punch on Giratina, and that does about almost half. I get some more HP back with Shell Bell, thanks to Shell Bell. He's going to go for the Shadow Sneak on my Titus. I almost wanted to say Titus there. Titus. And takes him out. Thanks, Will. And now he moves, I don't know why, but he moved his Mewtwo to the center. I'm going to go for Spark. And it's going to do almost half. And I was like, wow, not too bad for going +1. So it's now I'm going to finally go out into my Uber. I had Mew 1, 2, and Epic, and I just go straight out into my Epic! And Turbo Blaze is like, so I'm going to go for the Sucker Punch. And that's going to almost take Giratina out. It's a 3-hit KO. I get some more HP thanks to Shell Bell. However, that's not really, I don't think it really matters at that point. I go straight for the Blue Flare because I'm pretty sure that's going to KO Giratina. I don't know, and he's like, well, go for it. So I was like, alright, Blue Flare, because I'm Choice Scarf, so I lock myself in. And I get a crit, and I'm not sure if the crit mattered, but I don't care. It didn't matter. It was just a fun match. We were just having a fun battle. So he goes for the Aura Sphere on my Genghis, and it's like, this is going to kill me, this is going to kill me. It's going, it stops. He's like, what? And it's like, yeah, and I go for the Spark, and I was like, I know you're going to live this. And he's like, probably not. And he does, but I do get the Para Hacks. So I'm like, alright. Now, this is where the Wonder Launcher actually is going to kick in right after I munch on my leftovers. He's going to use his build-up points to launch the Max Potion towards, I don't know how to say that in Japanese, that's probably just Mewtwo. And he goes back to full HP, and I'm going to go straight for a Blue Flare after I go for the Sucker Punch, but that's going to fail. So I was like, crap. And he's going to go, so I go for Sucker Punch, and it doesn't do, because it fails. I was like, I wonder what he went for. And he's like, haha, Sucker Punch failed. Then I go for Blue Flare. I was like, he said I would LOL if that missed, and it didn't miss. And I go for the Spark, and that takes him out. So good game, Billy. It was a really fun match. You're going to have to do this again sometime. Guys, remember to like, comment, subscribe. Check him out. I do believe he'll be posting his side of the match on his channel. I'll leave the link to that in the description below. Peace, guys.